Buongiorno, good morning from Bari. It is Friday, November 1st, 7:48 a.m. Today is All Saints' Day. It's a holiday. So last night was Halloween. I got to see some of the kids trick-or-treating. They were really cute. All the grumpy old men who stand on the sidewalk and smoke in front of their stores were so happy to see these little kids. I've never seen so many people smile in Bari. So it's really cute. You know, it's funny to see this holiday that was brought to the United States by immigrants, kind of changed in its American way, and then be celebrated in different countries. So they were really adorable, lots of little pumpkins, a few little scary monsters. Some of the adults were also dressed up. So today's a holiday. And growing up, I went to Catholic school for the first 8 years. That's why I'm just so holy. We always had November 1st off. So it's nice, you go out trick-or-treating. And then the next day, you didn't have to go to school, but get this, you had to go to church. So that kind of sucked. So we didn't get to sleep late, but after church, you got to lay around and eat your candy all day. All right, I'm going to cross here. Is this person actually going to let me cross? No. I think the rules for crossing here are do it at your own risk. They seem to stop if you walk into the crosswalk, like in front of their car, but you never know. It's quiet. It's a holiday. So today I'm going to Matera. Matera is in Basilicata. It's not in Puglia. It's a frequent stop for people who come to Puglia because it is so close. And it really is not a place that I would do on my own. Because you know how I feel about big groups of tourists. And I'm definitely expecting there to be big groups of tourists. It's a holiday. So I don't know what the Italians are doing today. I just saw somebody going to church. It's the 1st of November. So, you know, maybe the floods of tourists are not here like in the summer. Again, I can't imagine going to one of these places at the height of tourist season in the summer in the heat. But anyway, I'm very lucky because I found a conversation partner, Giuseppe. He's like 20 years younger than me, so he's a young man. His English is about as good as my Italian, so we're perfectly matched. And we communicate using Google Translate, which is good for me. I don't feel any pressure. He doesn't criticize my Italian. I don't criticize his English. It's a very comfortable situation, and he's very sweet. Because he's volunteering his time on his day off to take me to Matera. And then I think next weekend he wants to take me to Alberobello, which is another place that I would not go on my own, but I would go with a local. Now, a couple things about my resistance here to these places. One is just the crowds, but the other is they're not that easy to get to from Bari. So there is really no direct train service from Bari to Matera. Looks like maybe there's a bus, but it's kind of complicated. I can't figure it out. A lot of Americans, especially who come to Puglia, rent cars. You know, Americans just can't imagine surviving without a car. And maybe if you're with a group, it makes more sense because 6 people in a train, you know, it adds up. But then you have all the other issues that come with cars, driving, and parking, and all that. I've even read stories of people's rental cars being stolen in certain places. So because they're not that easy to get to, Alberobello and Matera, and because they're very popular with tourists, I had kind of decided that I'm going to check them off my list. I wasn't going to go there. So when Giuseppe volunteered to take me, never pass up an offer from a local. So I'm very lucky that I'm going to have a driver. He just texted me and told me to wear sneakers because we're going to do a lot of walking. I told him I need a wheelchair. He responded, but I didn't read what he wrote. I am a little bit tired because yesterday I went to Caserta. So I've been trying to alternate days with a lot of walking. So if I walk one day, I'll rest the next, but 2 days in a row with walking. But I'm going to be on the train now for about 47 minutes. I'm taking the train to Gioia del Colle. Not sure where that is. I think it's on the same line that I took to Monopoli and Polignano. It's on the Lecce line, but we'll see when I get to the station. And then he's going to pick me up at the station and then take me back to Gioia del Colle this evening so I can take the train back to Bari. So a little bit about Matera. Matera is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's famous for something called sassi, which are caves, cave dwellings. And Giuseppe sent me some information that I'll read on the train, Wikipedia. From what I remember, it sort of, at a certain point, became a point of shame for Italy when people discovered how poor these people were and the conditions that they were living in. So I think an effort was made to move the people out of the caves. Could have been under the fascists, I'm not sure. There are churches and caves and yeah, I mean, so I'm assuming these cave dwellings go back thousands of years. So that's the big draw, seeing the Sassi. But from what I've seen, Matera also is a beautiful ancient city, kind of built on a hill. So we'll see. And then Giuseppe said he made a reservation for lunch. So I am assured to have a good lunch today, and I'll film that. I don't know if Giuseppe will want to be in my videos. Not everybody wants to be famous. And you know, I have 63 subscribers, so I'm just world famous here. So you might see him or you might not, but he'll be there, driving me around, dragging me up the hills, carrying me. Just kidding, he's smaller than I am. I feel tall next to him. I actually feel tall here in Bari. I'm 5'8". I'm tall. All right, I'm almost at the station. I already got my ticket. I booked a ticket for 8:22. So I'll get to the station. I'll go through the whole finding my train business again, just in case anybody's watching who hasn't seen another video and wants to know how to ride the trains in Italy. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, coming up on Bari Centrale, and it's a holiday. There's very little traffic. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Nice, she's gonna let us cross. All right, let's see if we can figure out which train. 8:22 to Taranto. All right, that's different. Taranto. Actually, I didn't realize they had a train to Taranto. Taranto is kind of on the other side of the heel of Italy. It's on the coast. All right, so platform 7. So just double checking here. I'm gonna also check my train number. Just make sure I'm on the right platform. So 8:22, platform 7. And they also tell you if the train is running late. One thing I wish they had was a map with all the stops. And it looks like the train is here already. And there are a lot of people. Okay. So there's Gioia del Colle. Quite a lot of people. Don't really understand this line formation here. There's the door. Everybody's just kind of over there. So I never noticed that on the side of the train they tell you the stops, but I wish there was an actual map. Okay, here we go. I like these regional trains. It's actually nicer than the first class cabin yesterday. All right, so it's 8:11. The train leaves at 8:22. I don't see any reason why we're going to be late. I'll see you in Gioia de Colle.
Dal 21 settembre non è più necessario fare il check-in prima di salire a bordo. Il tuo biglietto digitale regionale si valida automaticamente all'orario di partenza programmato. Puoi modificare il tuo viaggio quante volte vuoi.
Alright, so my stop is the next stop. I have a few weird shots in the video because I just wanted to show a couple things. First of all, there's so much luggage space above these seats, much more than what was in the first class cabin on my train to Caserta, but nobody uses it. So the woman sitting diagonally from me had her bags and coat on the seat next to her, and then her luggage in front of her. So basically she was blocking two seats, same as the woman sitting across the aisle. So people are walking up and down the aisles looking for seats, and nobody wants to ask anybody to move their stuff. So I just got up because three people got on. The woman who was sitting across from me got off, and three more people got on, so I just let them have that little space. And it's a really beautiful ride. This is kind of what I was hoping for on the way to Caserta. Just olive groves everywhere. It's like every spare inch of space here is covered with olives and grapevines. And passing through these little towns, you can see the big cathedrals. So I'm sure each one of these little places has an old quarter to explore. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about Matera. So Matera has these cave dwellings, the Sassi, which according to ChatGPT are among the oldest continuously inhabited dwellings in the world. It's a World Heritage Site, UNESCO World Heritage Site. They go back to the Paleolithic period. And it was around the 1940s, 50s, I guess after World War II, that somebody wrote a book about the Sassi and just how shameful it was that people were living in poverty in these dwellings that had poor ventilation, no running water, no sanitary facilities. Children were dying of malnutrition and malaria. So at that point, the Italian government forcibly removed people from the Sassi and put them into proper housing. After that, people kind of reconsidered them as part of Italy's cultural history. And that's when they were kind of opened up to tourism. 2 films were filmed there. The Passion of the Christ, that gory Mel Gibson movie, and some James Bond movie. So, sounds like an interesting place. I think it's going to be very beautiful, also really kind of poignant, and it's going to be interesting to see it with an Italian to see what he has to say about the place. Alright, so I'll be arriving in Gioia del Colle in about 3 minutes. Alright, so I just got off at Gioia del Colle. It's nice, fresh morning here. It was a nice ride. Of course, I was bothered because, you know me, I was just really bothered that people were like so rude with the space. Such beautiful trains. This train was so much nicer than the long distance first class train I took yesterday. So much luggage space, and people were just really kind of being rude about taking up more space than they needed. But what are you gonna do? All right, I'm gonna meet my friend here and start the adventure. And there he is.
This is the new city. Matera. Sorry.
So this is the newer section of Matera. My guide just explained to me that this is where the people were moved by the government in the 1950s to move them out of the Sassi. So we're stopping here in Matera, the new part. It's pretty. Looks very modern. I mean, that building looks like it's a couple 100 years old, but we got shops here. Timoda. So it's a very sunny day here in Matera. We just visited a really beautiful old church, San Francesco di Paola, but I forgot to take a video, so I'll get a video on the way back. And here we see crowds of my favorite thing, tourists. So I know we're getting close, and it already looks so interesting. I think we're going to see a view of the Sassi. There's an old building. It's really warm.
Perché crea
From
sangue
there,
che
there
non
are
ci stanno.
beautiful views.
It's not too crowded. So here we're going to see a view of Matera Vecchia. Beautiful. There's the cathedral welcoming us. And these old winding streets, which I have a feeling I'm going to be dragged through, escorted through. Beautiful. All right, so we're just kind of leisurely walking here in Matera, just from the entrance of the old town. Look at this spectacular old church. Looks really ancient. It's beautiful here in the sunshine. So this is the Chiesa San Giovanni Battista, St. John the Baptist. The penitents of Santa Maria Cona in Palestine came to Matera in 1215. They were given the chapel of Santa Maria la Nova in 1220, which had belonged to the Benedictines until 1212. All right, so this goes back to about 1215. It's pretty old. Let's look inside. So that maybe explains this kind of Arab-looking doorway here. Wow. It is very old. Beautiful. There's John the Baptist. Confessional booth. There's an ancient fresco. So another little church. This is the Antica Cripta di San Biagio. I don't know if that's what this is. Looks like you have to pay to enter. Visit the underground of Matera. San Biagio. So I just asked my guide, where are the sassi? He said, there, the sassi. So they look like houses to me. I thought they were like caves. But it's really beautiful here, and it's a gorgeous day. Sunny, not too hot. There's a little breeze. And just really a fascinating place. But I would die in the summer with the heat and the crowds. Today's really peaceful. Beautiful. I was told by my guide that the bell tower of the cathedral is visible from every part of Matera. Okay, so here is Matera. And then over there you can see in the cliffs, in the rocks, the old caves. I still don't think these are built into the rock, but maybe some of them. Anyway, it's beautiful. So we're going to go into the church of San Agostino, 16th to 18th century. It's starting to get a little bit more crowded here.
Ma è finita la chiesa?
It's really striking here with this ancient rocky landscape, a ravine, and then this old city. Let's check out this church. I left the church. Giuseppe's inside, probably wondering what happened to me. There's a mass going on, and there was like this massive congestion in the doorway. So I don't really like filming people when they're praying. So, and also it wasn't really that beautiful. The first church that we visited was just amazing. And I have to get video of that on the way back to the car. This one was, yeah, nothing to write home about. It was kind of, you've seen one church, you've seen them all kind of thing. But it is All Saints Day here. People are going to church. We just climbed all of these stairs, and now he decided we're going back down again to take an easier route. If I die while making this video, remember to subscribe and like. I'm putting my life on the line here, just for you. I regained my breath, but I was so out of breath after we climbed these stairs. And we're coming down again. Oh my God. He's 20 years younger than me. Makes a difference. So viewers, please take note. An Italian's idea of an easy route is to come down, down, down. And guess what? After you go down, you have to go up again. If I die, remember to like and subscribe. This little guy is so noisy.
Huh?
So noisy. So we're standing here in front of a sasso. Gran Sasso. I just realized that Sasso means rock, because there's a mountain in Abruzzo, Gran Sasso. So I just asked my guide here, why are they called sassi, which means rocks, and not croti, which means caves? So he's researching it. And here's the valley of the Sassi. You can kind of see in some of these rocks the little holes that are carved out. They really remind me of the tombs of Jesus, at least what I've seen in pictures. The name Sassi identifies the two main neighborhoods that make up the historic center of the city of Matera, Civita and Piano. We speak of Sassi di Matera precisely because of this duplicity and not from the name Sasso. Well, that doesn't really explain it. Perché non sono grotti. All right, so we got the answer here about Sassi versus grotti. So basically, they look at these as rocks, and the people live in the rocks. Where I would say they live in the caves. They live in caves. So it's just a different way of looking at the world. That's what you get when you visit different places and speak different languages. Just things are thought about in different ways. So these are the old sassi. And then over here are newer ones. I'm excited for lunch.
Vedi il ponte?
Okay, so if you're really crazy, you can walk down this cliff and cross that bridge and then climb up the other side. And there are the cave dwellings. Let's just say we're not going to do that. Something we haven't seen for at least 2 minutes, a church. So let's see whose church this is. It's pretty. There's a big rock there. And we're down here, which means we need to somehow climb something to get out of here. So we stopped at a little cafe here to use the toilet and get something to drink. And you can kind of see how these places are carved into the rocks. So we stopped for a little I just drew a blank here. Granita. And for the straw, they use pasta, zitone. It's a nice little spot here in the shade, and they have a restroom. It's easy, he said. It's easy. If I die, remember to like and subscribe. I will be famous posthumously, like all the great masters. All right, I think we're on a level street here. Slight upgrade, uphill, incline, whatever. At this point, I'm just totally confused, out of breath, but we're eating lunch soon, so that's my motivation to keep going. It smells so good here. I think we're almost at the top. There's a Matera bike tour. Can you imagine biking here, up and down these streets? Down? Yeah. Up? No. So we got here early. This is what it looks like later in the day. Beautiful view. So we are now at the cathedral, looking back at the place where we started. And I don't know if we can enter the cathedral. I know this crazy Italian's going to want me to climb up the bell tower. That ain't going to happen. But there's where we started, over there.
Yeah.
Where that group of people is standing. Right there. Beautiful. So I'm sitting here resting because my feet are killing me, my legs are killing me. We're going to a restaurant. Giuseppe just went to put some more money on the car. Even though it's a holiday, you still have to pay for parking. So this is the main plaza where we entered, and then just straight up here is the restaurant, Il Cantucio. I think that's the name. So we're gonna have some traditional local food. I'm excited. I'm just entertaining myself while I'm waiting. It's actually really nice watching everybody walk past me here. It's mostly Italians here today. It's a holiday. So we're starting with this beautiful rosé from Basilicata. Oh my God. Verbo rosato. Basilicata. Catena di Venosa. I'm not sure what all that means. Beautiful. So I started, of course, with the fried thing, but these are famous from Basilicata. Crunchy red peppers. They're sweet, they're not hot. I'm gonna try one. Like this. Good. So I'm eating some capocolo, but I didn't realize there was a burrata underneath. We're supposed to eat together. We had some delicious fresh ricotta. There's still so much food here. Believe it or not, we were going to order 2 of these. So that's a lot of food. Only get one. So we haven't had enough food yet. So here we have some ravioli filled with burrata and topped with local peppers, crunchy peppers. My friend here thinks I'm crazy. Because I want to be a YouTube star. Really good. The sauce is red and yellow. Cherry tomatoes. Come si chiamano I pomodorini?
Daterino giallo.
Datte-
Daterino giallo.
Daterino giallo. I don't know why they have to call them daterini, not pomodorini. Perché no pomodorini? Sono daterini.
Quello giallo si chiama daterino giallo.
Oh, when
Si
they're
chiama
yellow.
pomodorino.
When they're yellow, they're daterino. Really good. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to eat this after that huge antipasto, but è molto buono. All right, well, I am very full and satisfied. Another one of these yappy dogs. It was really delicious. Il Cantucio ristorante. So we stopped at a little coffee shop, pasticceria, out of the old part of Matera. Just getting a coffee, and this is wow, Tette della Monja.
Monaca. Detta della Monaca.
Monaca. I'm not even going to translate it. All right, so now we are taking a break in a really nice little park in Matera. So the old city is that way, kind of down the hill a little bit. This is the newer part. So the pasticceria we just went to was crazy because today's a holiday. We had Tette della Monica. Nun's tits. It was really good. It was just like really light, kind of like a brioche, maybe like a sponge cake. Really light, not sweet at all, with a little powdered sugar. And then it was filled with cream, pastry cream, and whipped cream mixed, really light. We split one and we had a espresso. So now I'm re-energized. We're gonna make one more stop for a different view of Matera, watch the sunset, and then I'm gonna end the video there, head back to Bari. So all in all, it was a good trip. I really liked Matera. I might not have liked it as much if I came by myself because it was so crowded. And I think, you know, when you're walking around with somebody, it's a little bit of a different experience. When you're walking around alone, you're kind of, maybe rushing and like everybody's in my way. So maybe that's why I get so grumpy when there's so many people. I don't know. Also nice to come with a local. He knew his way around. I wasn't just wandering the streets lost. We had a really good lunch. So what can I say? Find yourself a local. If you come to Matera, try to avoid the summer because I think you will regret it. It's really hot and crowded. And there was something else I wanted to remind you, but I don't remember. So see you at the next stop, and then we'll end this. Don't worry, it will be easy, he said. So we are at this place called Belvedere, Mogettimone. The sun is setting over Matera, and we're going to watch the sunset. And lots of other people are here to join us. And then I'll end this video. I do have to say the light is pretty good right now. Don't worry, he said, it will be easy. Still walking. It's a kilometer downhill, so no problem. Where do we have to go back? Up this hill. So there's Matera. There's the sun. We're now on the other side of the ravine, and we're going to watch the sunset. So I am gonna regret this walk when it's time to go back, but it is extremely beautiful here. There's Matera. There's the noisy Italians behind me. And there are the fields of Basilicata over there. And other than the screaming Italians, it's very peaceful up here. It's a beautiful fall evening. Beautiful sunset. I had a big lunch, so I'm walking it off, but my feet are killing me. And the terrain is very saucy, get it? It's rocky. Just amazing. What an amazing testament to our prehistoric past here, and just the ways that people learn to survive. And then here in Italy, they recognize that there was a certain level of inhumanity by allowing their compatriots to live like this. So they built housing for them. I asked Giuseppe if people left willingly, and he said no, some people wanted to stay. So there's that, but it definitely has to be better living in a home with running water and a kitchen, air conditioning. So here we are, high above the ravine. There's a river down there below that formed this valley. It's gorgeous. So the sun is setting. The chemtrails are crossing the sky. This is Matera. So I hope you enjoyed this trip. I don't know if I'll make it back to the car alive. This might be my last video, so remember to like and subscribe. We're being joined by a group of noisy Italians. So much for this peaceful sunset. All right, so I'm going to end this video here. Here's a little view inside of a sassi, which is really a grotto, sasso, and the sun setting over Matera. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the trip. Remember to like and subscribe because I might not make it back to the car.